Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and privilege to welcome and introduce Chakra Mantena, Managing Director, Head, India Technology, Morgan Stanley, who will share his insights in the keynote address titled Leading Inclusively, Even During a Crisis. Chakra, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining this session. I'm really thrilled to have this opportunity to talk about this diversity and inclusion topic. Improving diversity and creating an inclusive culture where every employee feels like they belong here have been key strategic priorities for me and our firm. I'm happy to have this opportunity to share my experiences and learnings with all of you. Having diversity at workplace is both a moral imperative and a business imperative. We all can make a difference to the society by improving diversity and inclusion at workplace. At Morgan Stanley, we are taking an active role in creating a more equitable and inclusive workplace and society. To that end, we recently created Morgan Stanley Institute of Inclusion to bring about meaningful progress within our firm and beyond. D&I should be a key focus for all organizations. The starting point for creating an inclusive organization is representation. We want our population to reflect the society we operate in. That means we want to have 50% women, not just in certain roles, but at all levels across all types of roles, engineering, product management, transformation roles, etc. In technology, getting this level of gender diversity is difficult. This is because not enough women enroll into engineering programs. To address this gap, we have multiple initiatives across the globe to encourage more women to take up engineering and computer science programs. It is even more difficult when you come to senior levels. This is because women drop out of workforce as they progress in their career due to life events. To solve for this, one of the things we are doing is we have a return to work program to give them an opportunity to work after a break. It's an internship where a mentor helps them in easing back into workplace. Our program has been very successful. We even have women who came through the program getting promoted to executive director levels. We need to scale it further to fill the gap at senior levels. To improve representation at senior levels, we also need to help women advance in their careers. We have multiple development offerings and support programs to help women in the firm with their career progression. We make sure they have right mentors, sponsors, training, and opportunities to grow in the organization. However, hiring and advancing more women is not enough. We also need to create an inclusive culture. There are several things that can be done to create an inclusive culture. Three things that I would like to talk about today are psychological safety, unconscious biases, and microaggressions. Psychological safety is a very important thing that we need to create in the organization. We want a culture where everyone has equal voice. Everyone needs to feel comfortable to voice their views and ideas. Underrepresented people hesitate to voice their views and also tend to get interrupted in conversations and discussions. We need to draw them into conversation, invite them to speak, seek their opinion, and hear them out. Awareness of unconscious biases is another important focus area. We all have unconscious biases and blind spots. To create an inclusive environment, it's very important that people become aware of these blind spots and biases and work on overcoming them. We do a lot of training to make people overcome these unconscious biases. Microaggressions is a third area of focus. Microaggressions chip away the inclusive atmosphere. It's important to build culture, cross-culture dialogue, and sensitivity in teams. According to a McKinsey study, 73% of women experience microaggressions or everyday slights rooted in bias. This hurts all of us. At Morgan Stanley, we have zero tolerance for microaggressions. To create the right culture, everyone needs to take accountability, and managers need to take more accountability. Managers need to be visible champions of diversity and inclusion, and they also need to be the role models. They need to model the right behavior. Managers are responsible for creating psychologically safe environment for everyone in their teams, and also not tolerating any microaggressions within their teams. Managers need to also create an environment where people speak up when they see behavior that's contrary to the culture and the values of the firm. By doing all of the above, we want everyone at the firm to feel like they belong here. That's how we measure our success. When the crisis hit us last year, most of us had to transition to 100% work from home environment. As a result, the normal bonds created by everyday interactions with colleagues have surely been impacted. While work from home has been successful, we all can agree that it does have its own challenges. However, through it all, we continue to serve our clients well. At Morgan Stanley, we have also had an exceptional year last year as we onboarded a record number of new joiners virtually. We found new ways to engage, teach, evaluate, and mentor them. True culture shines in times of crisis. As ambassadors of our organization, each one of us plays a pivotal role in helping them learn more about the organization and the culture. When we all started working from home, we were very conscious that a dispersed workforce could feel excluded and feel isolated. We needed to make sure everyone aligned towards our goals. All our strategic goals, including diversity and inclusion goals, are too important. Leadership is about staying the course when you hit rough waters. The approach we took was to communicate, engage, and be accessible. We continuously communicated what we are doing for the crisis, to handle the crisis. We also talked about our culture and our strategic goals, including our diversity and inclusion goals. We were very deliberate in frequently connecting with people since accidental run-ins and corridor conversations are not possible. And we talked about our priorities. We made sure the leadership was accessible. We heard our people, learned about their challenges, and made adjustments. The very first challenge that people faced was blurring of work hours and personal hours. They were working longer, they were always on. Due to lockdown, they had to balance home chores with work and also take care of kids as schools were shut down. Teammates being out due to COVID also increased workload. We had to help our people adjust to this new way of working. That was wave one and was relatively more manageable. With wave two, more people were impacted, directly and indirectly. Family members, friends, and teammates got COVID. Some of our colleagues passed away. Most people lost someone they know. People's stress and anxiety levels went up. Some of them were overwhelmed. We got enormous support from our senior management to help our people. Clear message from management was to put people first. Managers reduced workload, pushed out deliverables, gave flexible hours, gave additional days off. We gave financial support, vaccine and medical support, etc. Some people were more impacted than others. Some of the women were more impacted as they were handling more work at home. Studies are showing that women are experiencing greater stress. A recent study by Deloitte showed that about a quarter of women are considering dropping out of workforce. To handle the situation, we had to create an environment with high psychological safety so employees could share their challenges with their managers and get help. Managers appreciated individual challenges with empathy and without judgment. We encourage check-ins by managers and skip-level managers to see how employees are doing and if they need any help. To handle the anxiety, grief, and stress, we did several things. We reduced workload, gave people additional time off. We provided help with healthcare and provided financial help where needed. We also focused on mental well-being. Managers shared their own challenges and showed vulnerability to make it safe environment for others in the team to share their challenges. We did several sessions on mental well-being with experts to build awareness about mental well-being. We also encouraged our employees to sign up for individual counseling, and we also did team counseling. Since we learned women are more stressed, we created an ecosystem for them to share their concerns with others. We are paying extra attention and doing a bit more of what we're doing for the whole population. There were a few positives that came out of the crisis. We learned that we can work effectively from home. Future is going to be hybrid working model with more flexibility. This will help in having more women and people with disabilities to come back to workplace. There was a positive impact on productivity due to larger overlap with global team members. Since people in our global headquarters were also not commuting, we had more overlap and better information sharing. People in India had more access to SMEs in our business headquarters. Because people were not commuting, they also had more time for their family and to look after their health and well-being. Crisis also brought the people together. There is a greater bonding within the team and also between the team members and managers. Hybrid working is the future. This will allow for more women and people with disabilities to join the workforce. People have greater awareness of importance of mental well-being. We'll continue to educate folks so they can recognize signs and get help when required. The bonds between team members are tighter now. We have more inclusive and caring environment. So the call to action at the individual level for all of us would be to constantly stay connected with your teams and reach out, especially during these times of crisis, with empathy and compassion. Educate and make yourself aware of unconscious biases and behaviors that are not inclusive. Embrace change. We have a great opportunity to build on positives that came out of the crisis to improve diversity at workplace. With a collective sustained commitment, we'll be able to realize the full potential of diversity and create a more equitable and inclusive society. So what would success look like? We all will have diverse and inclusive organizations that would reflect the demographics of our society. At Morgan Stanley, our goal is to be gloriously diverse and global. Thank you. Have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Chakra Manthena, Managing Director, Head India Technology, Morgan Stanley, with the keynote address titled Leading Inclusively Even During a Crisis. Chakra, thank you so much for your insights, and we wish you and Morgan Stanley the very best going forward. Do stay tuned in, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back on the other side in a couple of minutes with another keynote address.